Alan from Interrupted Tales, $10 donation. Who says that Post Malone charity stream was pretty good? Actually,
it was. I will back that up.
Yep.
I didn't get to see it, so
Yeah, when he played Nirvana, right?
Yeah, man, killed it.
Very good.
The drummer from Dan's group was there.
Travis
for that.
Barker.
Yeah, Travis Barker from Blink 182 did the drums on
That's
it.
a great picture. Well played, Shlee. Well played.
Did you see that, by the way?
I don't like Post Malone.
Yeah, but it's a Nirvana set, man. It's not Post Malone.
Who does?
I mean,
He killed it.
Nirvana's fine.
yeah. See, the chat's
Gerald, you have to remember
out
he's
here
a
for,
baby. He's a fucking
Yeah,
baby.
that's true.
I'm
And
30.
He doesn't. Yeah, you're a baby compared to us.
Well, I'm
See,
sorry,
Bellamy,
Mr.
it's
like you
900-year-old man.
No, that's me.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
me.
you're talking to a 15-year-old now. They're babies.
Whoa, Sean Ennis dropping bombs, and I do not agree, Sean.
We'll find out whether I agree with Sean or not before the end of this.
Oh Lord.
I'm
Wait,
kind of.
wait, why are we letting Dan on the air to do this? It's just going to be a list of Blink 182
It's actually
albums.
not.
Okay, good. You branched out.
No, I
Number
know.
5, All the Small Things. Number 4,
That is a
All the
song.
Small
We're doing
Things.
albums,
I know.
or at least I hope so.
But that said,
Okay,
they have 3 albums that are fucking amazing.
Okay.
my fantasy footy crew met Post Malone at a Perth pub on Anzac Day last year. And apparently he wasn't as big a dickhead as you might think.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of his. There's a couple of songs I like, but seeing that set that he did a few weeks ago, I'm like, I like this dude.
Why was he wearing a muumuu?
Why is you marrying a muumuu?
It was a tribute to Kurt when he played Wembley. He wore a dress.
Oh, did he wear a muumuu? Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
Okay. Let's see.
Travis Barker crashed at my local airport.
Oh yikes! Is that big? Was it the crash, Michelle? Define contemporary, Julio.
Let's see. Okay. So yeah, the chat was nailing it over here. So yes, if I were putting film scores or musical albums on the list, then yes, Les Mis and Hairspray would both definitely make the list. I mean, obviously, this is me we're talking about, so we all definitely know that that's true. But no, I omitted them intentionally because I wanted to do actual bands. But so yeah, shall we, gentlemen, get cracking along? Shall we get cracking along into our lists here? So, Dan, you haven't been hanging out with us here yet, so why don't you kick us off with your number 5, my friend?
Okay. I've been running through this really quick. I'm gonna go. This is from a band called Say Anything. It's their 2004 album Is a Real Boy.
Good album.
Oh, that's right. You are aware of Say Anything. God, thank God.
I'm too
someone
old.
understands. They're like this alt punky kind of band. Max Bemis is a fucking tremendous vocalist, but like they're really, I wouldn't say wall of sound, but like very rhythmic. The lyrics are really catchy and really well thought out. I don't know. I just love it.
Man alive.
Also, there's a song on there called "Wow, I Can Get Sexual Too," which is
And you guys over there in the chat, make sure that you let us know exactly, some of your favorite albums, and we'll make sure to shout you guys out as we go through here through the chat. But
that noise you made, Dan, was that like good for playing basketball too?
that one. Sure.
Yeah.
That's
And
also
then
the sound that Ashley's
come on,
making
Dan.
in her photo.
oh my!
Y'all are gonna make me defend my queen here in a minute.
Is he gonna tweet T Swift at us? God in heaven!
Oh yeah, we're getting 5 T-Swifts.
You
Get
know,
ready.
we're not getting out in the next 44 minutes. We're not hearing about Taylor Swift. Let's face it.
Oh my lord! Go ahead, Gerald. You're number 5, buddy.
All right. Well, look. First of all, I do love Taylor. Dan. Hashtag die Dan.
I just haven't listened to any of her albums.
And then I saw Julio. he thought you were going to scoop up T Swift.
Fuck no.
So I didn't put Taylor in my top 5, but she would be my top 10 with an album called 1989. But in my top 5, there are some albums that go way, way back before that. So first, we were talking about 2000 movies earlier. So from the year 2000, I thought it only fitting. My favorite Deftones album is White Pony. So that is my number 5 album of all time. Anybody that knows Deftones, it's hard rock, but it's also experimental rock, especially with this album. They really started doing different things, and their sound really shifted from what we were used to, and now it's incorporated to all the stuff they've done since then, and it's really, really cool. White Pony, if you like that kind of hard industrial rock, you need to look it up. It's a great album.
That's the best comment over in the chat. Major Dumpero, I had no clue that Gerald was a Swiftie. He never talks
really?
about it.
I've never heard it.
No, he's being sarcastic, Gerald.
Oh, I am too.
Oh, my Lord in heaven.
Where's Justin at? He's a Deftones fan.
Justin's floating around over there in the chat.
Yeah.
Justin's gonna like my list. I can call it.
All right.
Donate to stop Gerald talking about Swifty.
Oh, I like it.
No, Swift.
Here comes $1,000 for me.
Yep.
You guys.
I will go into debt to shut Gerald up.
Now, what if Taylor tweets out the Twitch stream and you guys have 1 million
I feel
views
like
tomorrow?
Dan's
I'll
over
be a
here.
hero.
Dan's over here signing up for a new credit card so he could make a huge donation. Oh my
Ignore
Lord.
my credit score. Please give me another credit card.
So let me see. Let's go with Paul. Paul, I'm curious to hear your number 5, and then I'll finish out the round and we'll wrap back around.
Well, you did call it that it could easily be 5 Muse albums. So my number 5 is a Muse album. It's my favorite Muse album. It's the one that got me into them way back, in 2003. But I probably got into it sort of 2004, 2005, if I'm really honest. I'm talking about Absolution, their 3rd album.
Hell yeah.
Muse being this sort of, I don't know what it is about this album. There's not really a bad track on it, and it's got a couple of my absolute favorites. Time Is Running Out being one that's a big anthem that they do in most of their concerts. Hysteria, another incredibly awesome film, especially to drive fast to film.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a Wayne song. But then there's a song which they don't play ever, which is probably my favorite song off the album. And I went through this huge breakup in 2005. This album's kind of the soundtrack for me to that breakup because I was just getting into them, and Falling Away With You became the song that kind of encapsulated the end of that relationship for me. So when I hear it, it's this bittersweet kind of, man, I was in such pain, but also at the same time, it represents this new direction in my life and I'm in a much better place, I think, than I would have possibly been had I stayed the other course, so to speak. So it has that personal connection. And then on top of that, just has some banging tunes. And I can put that album on, and at least up until track 10, I probably can skip 11, 12, but the first 10 tracks are all awesome, and I love them.
Yeah, absolutely. Great album. And Dan mentioned it over in the chat, but same for me. If this were a top 5 songs list, Knights of Sidonia would absolutely be on that list because
100%.
holy fuck, that song is just so banging. Great pick, Paul. Great pick. I mean, I basically, so I'm gonna spoil it. I didn't put any Muse albums specifically in my top 5 because I can't pick one out of so many of them to put in there, so they're like all honorable mentions for me. Like, just because I love Muse just way too much. I couldn't I couldn't pick between like any specific album though. It was too hard for me. It was too hard.
Fair. I think they've probably only had one dud album. Really, I don't really like the one 3 albums ago is not my fave. Their new one, which no one talks about, I really like that album. So
is it the Resistance or the Second Law?
No, Resistance I love. Second Law I don't love that much.
I was going to say I know you must.
And then the next
you
one
have to love Resistance.
Then the next one's great because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
The one with Psycho and whatever else on it. But the latest one, I think is it called Stimulation Theory?
I can't remember.
Or Simulation Theory. It's fucking great. The first track sounds like it comes straight out of Stranger Things. So yes, Simulation Theory. Thank you, Heather.
Right.
Oh, there you go. Justin's finally caught on. Is going off about White Pony. There you are. So there you go, G.
Yeah, I was hoping he heard that pick.
All right. So let us crack on here.
Thank you.
My
Melissa,
number
for
5.
your
So
comment.
this is this is, guys, just going back to my youth. with hanging out with my friends and all my. I think we could all probably say this, but I'll definitely say it. All my albums definitely mean something to me at a different period in time in my life. So with that said, my number 5 is Bloodhound Gang's One Fierce Beer Coaster.
Is that the one with all the big singles on it?
Yeah, probably. I guess. I think. I don't know if. I mean, it's got Kiss Me Where It Smells Funny.
Roof.
Yep. It's got Fire, Water,
Roof
Burn.
is
It's
on
got
fire.
Lift Your Head Up High and Blow Your Brains Out. It's got I Wish I Was Queer So I Could Get Chicks. Like, I mean, this was like literally the party soundtrack, guys, of every party I went to and had when I was in my teens and like early 20s with my friends. Like, literally, we all put this album on and we just blared it and like sang along every single song, like literally the whole time. It just an amazing album from literally front to back. I absolutely love the Bloodhound Gang anyway. And this doesn't have my favorite Bloodhound Gang song of all time on it, which is The Lap Dance is So Much Better When the Stripper Is Crying. But it's still a really, really great album, and that's why it's my number 5.
Yep. Good comedic album. Or at least, I don't know about the album, but the songs.
Yeah, oh man, just so many amazing songs. So yeah, that is it. My number 5. So we're back to Big Dan.
All right, who's ready for only Justin Esquivel to know what I'm fucking talking about? This song or this album, I pulled a Wayne. This album is from the band Alisana, who is like a post-hardcore band that really didn't shine until they got to these like. I have to take off my headphones. I can hear myself. Who really didn't take off until they did these concept albums based around the Annabelle trilogy. And the final album, that Confessions, is my number 4. That album fucking rules. Like, it's like the ultimate compilation of everything Alisana's ever done. It even has like the final track on the album has like a song with 3 Alisana endings, which is just like a holding note. But then like they immediately transition to more music, and it's like, wait, they haven't fucking stopped the song. It's amazing. I don't know. They also dipped into like being heavier than they really ever were, and everything feels still polished. I don't know. I just love it. Like, Alisana is not everybody's cup of tea, but it's an album that like I still listen to constantly.
I've never heard that one, I don't think. All right. What's it called again?
Alisana and Confessions is the album, but you should probably listen to The Emptiness first.
Okay. Well, give me a genre, narrow it down for us old people.
Oh God, Screamo.
Okay, you lost me. I'm too old for that shit.
I realize post-hardcore is what we call it, so no one hears us call it Screamo. But then everyone knows what Screamo is.
or
I'm
my
here for
dad
you,
calls
dude.
it
I love you.
noise.
Oh no, it's so good.
So over to the Big G, your number 4.
All right, my number 4 is going all the way back to 1970, and an artist I love, a singer-songwriter for sure. I love it mostly because of the lyrics and the songwriting, but it's an album called Moondance by Van Morrison from 1970.
Oh, classic.
Some big hits on this album, too. The title track, Moondance. He also had Crazy Love on there. And It Stoned Me. Into the Mystic is one of my favorite songs of all time. Spoiler alert for some of my patrons that might be listening right now on an upcoming G-Tunes episode. But yeah, I love Van Morrison. His songwriting is out of this world. He was really the first person to kind of mix rock and folk and jazz all together. He brings in different elements and different instruments that we weren't used to in rock and roll, and was really put out some great stuff in the 1970s and 80s. But I think Moondance is his best album, and it's my number 4.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very, very, very nice. And Paulie, you're number 4.
Okay, so this one is my kind of pseudo score album, but it's kind of a cheat as well because it's a live album, and it's from one of the best 3 concerts I've ever been to in my entire life. It's Hans Zimmer live in Prague, because I got to see Hans Zimmer live in Perth, and it was fucking phenomenal. And playing not all, you missed out on the Backdraft, my favorite tune of his, but other than the Backdraft, a score just nails every fucking tune that you can imagine from his back catalogue of things that you love. Name these best soundtracks, he does a track off it, and usually the best track from it as well, including even from The Dark Knight, Like a Dog Chasing Cars, which is one of my favorite pieces of orchestral music
Oh, yeah.
ever put together. It's certainly my favorite score. And when you hear that replicated live, like if you download the album or a track off it, you'll think, yeah, they've processed that, they've mixed it together to make it sound better than it was. Nope, it is exactly as good as that, almost to the note from when I heard it live in a actual venue. It was jaw-droppingly amazing, and even when I watched it again last year on Netflix, because it's over here on Australian Netflix, it was still another 5-star experience for me. It's phenomenal. That's why it's my number 4.
So we got a quick donation in there from Paul Chomo from the Varmints Podcast, $24.45. He rounded us up to $5,600 even. We are at 56% of our goal.
Boy.
And he said, is that enough to get Gerald to stop talking about Taylor Swift for the rest of the live stream for The Cure?
No, that's not. No, we got to keep going, guys. When we get to 10,
Well
I
played, Paul.
might
My
stop.
Lord.
talking
So
about
my number 4, just to crack on here, is, and this is a definite shout out to my co-host over in the chat, because I know he is going to absolutely love this pick. This was the soundtrack of a young 20-something, mid-20-something Nick's life, and one of my absolute favorite metal albums of all time from the greatest metal band of all time, motherfucking Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power, is my number 4. And this is, if you're familiar with Pantera, this is the album with Walk on it. Fucking Hostile is on this album. But 2 songs that are pigeonholed in the back part of the album, Live in a Hole, which is a song that I really, really love, and then an amazing, just really kind of actually touching song, Hollow, at the end of it. Just, man, what an album. And like I said, just absolutely, it broke my heart. It absolutely shattered me when Dime got shot, because I wanted so badly to see, like, it was one of my bucket list things to see Pantera in concert someday, whenever, Phil got his head out of his ass and they got back together. But yeah, man, Vulgar Display of Power, baby. Pantera, my number 4.
Let's go, man. Rock and roll.
So we're on to Daniel. Daniel's number 3.
All right, this band is a little bit more popular than Alisana, but regardless, they're not super popular either. This is Dance Gavin Dance, their debut album, Downtown Battle Mountain. The album that basically created a new subgenre of post-hardcore, which went into experimental post-hardcore, which was basically like guitar just playing over everything with with just kind of insane lyrics that are totally nonsensical, over top, like soaring over top of it. It created a genre where basically everyone's trying to emulate this album because it's just so fucking good. Johnny Craig, before he decided he wanted to be a dumb shit and get hooked on drugs, I mean, you can't beat it. Like, this album was amazing. I would love to see this configuration of Dance Gavin Dance together still. But unfortunately, Johnny Craig decided to A, get hooked on drugs, B, sell MacBooks online fraudulently, and C, hook up with underage girls. Fuck you, Johnny Craig.
Oh.
Yes. Gerald, number 3.
All right.
No comment. Moving on.
My number 3 is a classic, and it might actually be crossover with somebody or multiple people. I'm not sure, but it's Michael Jackson's Thriller. This album changed music. I mean, let's be honest. It's I'm being laughed at, I think.
No,
I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, Michael
Dan
Jackson's
knows my
Thriller,
disdain for Michael Jackson.
but Billie Jean. I mean, come on, guys. This is kind of like that landscape shift in pop music, because he brought in a lot of the soul and dance, what we were used to, but he incorporated pop into it and obviously blew up. And the charts have never been the same since Michael Jackson came across them. So this is one of the most iconic albums ever made. Can't be refuted. Whether you like it or not, you can't refute that. And when I got my daughter a record player for Christmas a few years ago, this was the first vinyl that I bought her, was Michael Jackson's Thriller. So it's one of my faves, man.
That's high praise indeed. If you're subjecting your children to it with a high hope that they'll actually enjoy it as well. Normally, when I subject my daughter to anything, I'm just waiting for the 4 out of 10. Change it.
Right.
So, yep.
Any other fans of MJ? I know Nick loves him.
Nope.
I'm tepid on him, but I do.
I like him.
I know we try hard to separate the music from the person. I just don't like the person very much. Yeah.
See, I'm fine with and this is more about personal, like why you love these albums and stuff like that. So I'm not here to shit all over Gerald's love of Thriller or anything, but I am definitely not a Michael Jackson fan. I won't disagree that it was, a landmark album of its time and everything. I will not disagree with that. But I hate Michael Jackson. Absolutely detest Michael Jackson.
Hey, your
One of the
partner
best,
drop it in
videos.
the chat.
Yeah, he loves it.
Best pop album of all time.
Drop some love in there for that, but I don't get any love for Pantera, Justin. Fuck you.
One of the best videos ever made. Music videos ever made.
Oh,
Thriller.
absolutely. Yeah, John Landis. That was like a movie, bro. That was like the first horror movie I saw.
What was the
really.
first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the first one they ever did that, I think.
Yes, Loy Sauce. Imagine having an opinion. Fuck. Literally fuck yourself. Jesus Christ. God damn. Paul, I think, number 3? Yes, we're over to Paul.
It is,
Yes.
it is me. My number 3, someone in the chat just said someone's concert got cancelled they were going to see because of coronavirus. My number 3 is a band, or from a band that I was going to see like a week ago, and obviously it was canned because of COVID. It's been rescheduled for April or March next year, so hopefully things will be improved by then, although I'm not holding my breath. It is Faith No More, and arguably my favourite band of all time in terms of how much of an impact they had on me. And I'm not going with the one that everyone sort of cotton onto. If you're Gerald and my age, of course, Dan was merely a glint in the milkman's eye when this particular album came out. But, well, sorry, the one that I'm referring to came out. But their follow-up album, Angel Dust, which is nowhere near as well known as I can't remember the name of the one that came before it, but the one that had Epic and Falling to Pieces and all those kinds of songs on it.
I think it was self-titled.
Angel Dust for
if I'm not
me.
mistaken.
Was it?
I
self-titled?
thought it was, but I
I have a feeling it was called something like maybe End of the World. I could be making that up. I don't know. That's a track off it. But Angel Dust is just the song of my sort of graduation, or the album of my graduation from high school. It was right around the same time as Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit and all the rest of that. So all that sort of meshed in together. But this is the band and the album that I probably listen to the most. You know how you sort of play over an album over and over and over and over and over and over again, and then you finally get tired of it and move on. This one must have taken me 18 months to get tired of. I just found a new track that really did it for me, and I would listen to the whole album to get to that track. And then there's one little story to wrap this up. When we're having a lot of parties, as you do around that 17, 18 time, had a party at my house one night, and one of my mates got way too drunk and fell asleep on my brother's bed when he was obviously out of the house way too early in the night. So I had this weird old sort of boombox CD player which had a play repeat function on it. So we walked in there and they did a cover of the Midnight Cowboy theme song on this album, which is the last sort of hidden track. Stuck it in the room, plugged it in, pressed play repeat that song all night, and he was just drunk enough to register it but too drunk to get up and turn it off. And to this day, that song makes him feel sick.
Nice.
Special place in my heart. Angel Dust from Faith No More.
Oh, my God. Oh, very, 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 very nice.
Oh, yeah. And I should mention, as Major Jumperoo has, Mike Patton's vocals, just phenomenal. The man has a range which is maybe, and Major Jumperoo said, better than Freddie Mercury. Not far away, I would totally argue.
I was going to say, Paul, real quick, the debut album was called The Real Thing.
Ah, thank you. That is a
Yeah.
track off the album, but not End of the World.
And Angel Dust is
of
awesome,
the
man.
World.
Do you remember the track Be Aggressive where it had the cheerleaders
Yeah.
doing the cheer? I used to love that song, dude.
Be aggressive.
Good pick, man.
B-E-A-G-G. There you go. There's the singing. R-E-S-S-I-V-E.
Yeah, Paul hasn't done nearly enough singing. You guys need to get in there and fucking whip some ass till we get some more tunage out of Paul. But meanwhile, my number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is once again going back to my childhood. As a teenager, as a young buck, and in my garage, like with all my friends, like just pumping on. There were 2 albums, and I was really torn between which Weezer album I was going to put here, whether it was going to be the Blue Album or whether it was going to be Pinkerton. I decided to go with Pinkerton just because I think I just edge it slightly, even though, like, I mean, we were in my garage hanging out, and of course the Blue Album has In My Garage on it, but Pinkerton, like, just like a banging album, literally banging album, from beginning to end. Tired of Sex, man. God, just The Good Life. Like, come on, Across the Sea. Why Bother? Oh man, and then like I just love Butterfly, man. Just that so like Rivers Cuomo, man. I love him. I love his voice. I love his songwriting. It has always spoken to me in a great way. And shout out to my boy Mike, who died 21 years ago. Just was absolutely loved Weezer, and like we always hung out and like in the garage and everything, and has on his tombstone has the Weezer emblem and Only in Dreams written on his tombstone. So shout out to where'd my thing go? Shout out to my boy Mike for that. But yeah, that's my number 3. Like I said, it was so hard to pick between the Blue Album and Pinkerton. If I felt like cheating, I would, but I won't. I'll just put Pinkerton in here. That's my number 3.
Solid. Very solid.
And then Daniel, we're up to top 2s now, ladies and gentlemen. Top 2s.
From Under the Cork Tree, from Fall Out Boy. Big shock, everybody. Dan likes pop punk music. This is their breakout album back in 2005. Like, this actually brought on the second wave of pop punk, because before this you had like Blink, not Weezer, Yellow Card, and then like Fall Out Boy continued it going, and then it brought on that new wave of like All Time Low, Story So Far, Knuckle Puck, all bands none of you people have ever fucking heard of, because pop punk is too good for you people. But I don't know. Dance Dance is probably one of my favorite songs off the album, mainly because I can play the bass line. That bass line is a kicker. But I don't know. Fall Out Boy is just so good. I've only seen them once in concert, and that was on my number 1 album of all time's band's reunion tour. And unfortunately, I only caught like the tail end of their set because I got in a car accident because someone's a fucking dipshit. So there was that. Hooray. Yes, Justin, I know you have. This is why I wanted you on, because I need validation.
Drew's a fan as well.
Drew's from Bakersfield.
Yep.
Which is
Corn Country.
well, it's also like Western California, which is where pop punk is like from, basically.
Now we're all just getting into a war in the chat.
Yeah.
What is happening?
I'm loving it so much. Now we're all just starting to throw. We're throwing worst band shade and like hate shade for band. In the chat.
That was you, Nick. You said you hated Stone Temple Pilots. I thought it was Justin. Sorry.
Oh no, that was me. Like a
Fuck
couple
you.
of their tracks,
That's-
a couple of their tunes, like back when I was a teenager, like they were all right, and I kind of liked them or whatever. But no, hate them.
STP's
I
great,
hate
man.
them now. I hate them now, and I've seen a lot of love getting thrown around for Jagged Little Pill by Atlantis in the chat. Absolutely banging album.
nice.
Absolutely banging album. She is an amazing songwriter. I absolutely love her. Absolutely love her. And yeah, I started trashing Pearl Jam over in the comments, so I'm going to turn my microphone back down. And we'll go with Big G for your number 2.
All right. So my number 2 is
Thanks,
a
Dan. Never heard
hybrid
your album,
album that was really revolutionary and, in my opinion, has not been matched since. But it's the Beastie Boys' "License to Ill" is my runner-up. This is an album that's rock. This is an album that's rap. And these 3 dudes from New York just did what they wanted to do, and they were on the Def Jam label, they were obviously different from everything else that was on there, but they didn't care. They play their own instruments, they write their own rhymes, and they, again, much like my Thriller pick, it really revolutionized the landscape of music, in my opinion. There's a couple Beastie Boys albums that I would probably throw on before this one if I was like just wanting to listen to a Beastie's album, but I think License to Ill is easily the most revolutionary, and I love them so much. So that's my runner-up.
Can you give us what are some of the tracks off that particular one?
That's Fight for Your Right is a big one. Brass Monkey is pretty big. Paul Revere is probably my favorite because it's like just a really cool story. Girls is on that album. No Sleep Till Brooklyn. It's a really cool rock rap album. It's a little bit of both. It's like 50-50.
All right. Yep. I've heard most of those songs. No, Beastie Boys were just a whole different genre, really. Like you say, bringing rap and rock together in a way that I hadn't heard before at that age. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Justin has a good point. I haven't seen it yet because I don't have Apple TV, but there's a new documentary on there about the Beastie Boys that I heard is amazing.
Nice.
So, Paul, your number 2.
We'll see what this kind of reaction this one kind of gets. But my number 2 is the last band I saw in concert before COVID hit, or from the last band I heard. But it's the album that got me into them, and it's probably contains my most played track of all time, even today, literally today. 24 years after this song was released, it came up and random on my iTunes, and I let it play all the way through because I almost never hit skip on this particular track. But I'm talking about Tool's Enema.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Enema, a Stinkfist for me is just one of those songs. I'm not sure who that. Nick
That's
hates
Nick.
Tool as well.
I fucking hate Tool. Tool is terrible. God's heaven. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Ugh.
My love for Tool is so watertight that even that doesn't bother me, Nick. So
If Paul
you can't
really
get
wanted
in
to
here.
punish me, he would make me watch The Mist while listening to Tool. Like it'd be like the 1-2 punch of just absolutely punishing me.
Yeah, Stinkfist, Eulogy, 46 and 2 is one of the all-time greatest tracks in terms of I don't know what you don't like about Tool. They obviously get more and more experimental, but I think their latest album is also pretty special too. Apart from their bullshit interlude tracks, which I could do without. But yeah, Enema is just what an album. Even this album taught me to swear in Italian. That's how good it is. So there you go. Pezzo di merda, Nick. Pezzo di merda.
I love you, Paul. My number two, and Deb Kinney called it over in the chat. She knew that one of these was going to be popping up eventually in here. And again, this was a really, really tough choice between this and its follow-up album. Well, the only real follow-up album to it, let's be honest. There were other albums between them. But it is Meatloaf's original Bad Outta Hell, baby.
Meatloaf.
You guys knew the loaf was coming. You fucking knew the loaf was coming. This album, every track on this fucking album, it is an absolute masterpiece. I love this goddamn album so much. And especially working from home, like if I'm having, I'd like to be about positivity. I'd like to be about positive energy and putting good things out in the world. And let me tell you, nothing makes me feel better. I got a whole playlist full of Meatloaf tunes. I put that shit on, Jim Steinman songwriting, and I feel so goddamn good. So goddamn good every single time. All this music is just incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Gerald's comment.
I'll let you read it.
But Gerald, you can go fuck yourself, buddy. Don't you even dare.
Killers. Nice choice, Julio.
Absolutely great choice, Julio.
That's a good one.
Don't you dare besmirch the loaf. I almost wanted to put Bad Outta Hell 2 on it. I do also love Bad Outta Hell 2, but I had to go with the OG. I just had to go with the OG. So there it is. Fucking loaf.
I feel
Gerald.
so much better. So much better about you hating Tool right now than I did 90 seconds ago. It's great.
I will worship at the altar of the loaf forever, my friends.
Drew says you would do anything for love, even make it your number 2.
You damn right, baby. You damn right. But we are up to number ones, gentlemen, and I think we're gonna have time to just pop some honorable mentions off in here as well before all is said and done. So, Gerald, Dan.
Dan.
Sorry, excuse me, Dan. Dan, we're back over to you. Number 1, my friend.
All right, who's ready for the most least shocking thing they've ever heard of? It's Enema of the State from Blink-182.
Oh my God, I'm so
1999.
shocked. Oh my
Who
God.
could believe that Dan?
Look,
this is
hang
Dan's
on.
favorite album.
I want to do my
Porn
double take
star
again.
Janine Lindemulder on it.
Paul, that's perfect. Literally perfect.
Who could believe it? This song's full of bangers. Aliens Exist is like my favorite non-single of theirs, mainly because Tom DeLonge was right about aliens. That's what it comes down to. But no, like I love What's My Age Again, Going Away to College, Dump Weed, All the Small Things, Adam's Song. There's not a bad song on this album. This album's amazing.
All the small things?
Yes. Tom DeLonge was right the whole time. Everyone remember that. That fucking maniac.
Listen here, Justin, you're dead to me.
My personal favorite is What's My Age Again, Loy Sauce, because that describes me perfectly.
All the Small Things is a perfect song, Loy Sauce says. So there you go. So no one, absolutely no one is shocked.
Unless they don't know me.
Unless they don't know Dan. But even if you kind of just sort of casually know Dan, that's absolutely the most obvious number one of all time. So Gerald, my boy, what you got over there rocking for your number one?
I'm going to also be not shocking, although the album choice might be a shock. I don't know. But I'm going to pick Nirvana's MTV's Unplugged in New York. In my opinion, a perfect live album. Kurt's last performance to the public, kind of his going away concert. And when you listen to it, it is very eerie and very unsettling, but just extremely beautiful and extremely moving. And Kurt, picked a lot of the songs for that set that were not Nirvana songs. I've talked about this on my show before. But anytime I want to just feel, and music does make me feel, and probably a lot of people in the chat and us, this album makes me feel things. If I put my headphones on and I listen to it, and I go back to what he must have been going through, because we know what happened 6 months later, is just a tremendous, got to be one of the best concerts ever performed, definitely under the Unplugged umbrella. So Nirvana's Unplugged, my number one.
Yeah.
The Man
Brilliant
Who Sold
choice.
the World. It's one of the best covers ever of that live gig. Holy shit. It's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing album. I couldn't. It was kind of one of those things. Same thing with Muse. Like I could not pick a Nirvana album to put in anywhere in the top 5. So like their whole discography basically just gets love for me, splashed all the way through the honorable mentions. Like I love Nirvana just too much, just too much. Like to choose.
I mean, they're no Meatloaf, but thank you.
Listen, don't you dare besmirch the loaf. God damn it.
Oh man!
gonna-
Thank you, Loy Sauce. Loy Sauce is a fan of my movies.
I'm gonna smash him in the dick, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, my brother, you're number one. You're number one here.
Yeah, my number one is to my mind the closest thing to the only album that doesn't have a bad track on it that I have ever listened to. I can put it on at any point in the album and let it play through, and then let it roll around to the start and play through again. And it does come back to whomever it was, and I forget now, I'm sorry, without scrolling back through the chat, suggested that Foo Fighters is greater than Nirvana. Now, I don't know if I agree with that statement, but this Foo Fighters album, for mine, is the best album I've ever listened to, and There Is Nothing Left to Lose from 21 fucking years ago. Holy shit, I'm old. Look, the bangers of this album, the singles are incredible, but Learn to Fly and Breakout and Stacked Actors are all good. But then it's the ones that are the next layer down that really elevate this album for me. It's the Auroras and the Headwires and the Ain't It the Lifes that's what brings me back. Because they're the tracks, I should say, that on any other album would suck. The kind of things they throw on there to pad out the album. But this is 46 minutes plus. Here in Australia, we got Fraternity as a bonus track. Bam. So basically, it's 50 minutes of awesome rock. And slightly alternative rock, but it's just Nirvana, the next generation, if you will. I love Dave Grohl. I think he's a fucking god among men. This album does it for me in every way, shape, and form. I'm not even reading that.
Yeah, old Foo Fighters is unbeatable, he said.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not as much into them these days, but back then, holy shit. One of the great regrets of my life was I got way too drunk and fell asleep during one of their concerts when I was a lot younger. And then they retoured again about 6 or 7 years ago, and I got to right that wrong, and it was a great moment in my life.
Very nice. So Paul's number one. So that brings it to me, my number one, and then we're going to crack into some honorable mentions and stuff here really quick. But my number one should also come as no surprise to anyone who knows me, because I have often referred to it as absolutely the best album ever written, and it is The Black Parade from My Chemical Romance. Literally from absolute beginning to end, it's just... Again, this album came out at a time I was supposed to see them live in concert when this album came out, and I went to the venue with my then girlfriend at the time, and they had food poisoning and had to cancel the show, and I never got a chance to see them after that, which unfortunately just broke my heart. So, but this came out at a time in my life when I talked about him yesterday at the start of the stream, but my friend Jake passed away from cancer. This album came out like right around that time and is kind of like in that vein of, dealing with death and loss and all those different things. Is absolutely from beginning to end. Even, Teenagers, I don't like Teenagers. I don't like that song specifically, but the rest of that album is just legitimate perfection all the fucking way through. Absolutely adore that album. Absolutely adore it. So that's my number one. So I guess we should crack on really quickly here, just because we got to wrap on Paul here. Finally, getting his ass the fuck out of here. Daniel, you keep looking at me tellingly.
Eventually. I'm going to do my honorable mentions, and then I'm going to need you to turn me down because Duck is in the green room.
Okay, cool. So Dan's honorable. Julio from the Contrarians. $10 in honor of Counting Crows, motherfuckers.
These numbers can. There you go. Okay.
So yeah,
the one that
your
has
honorable
Mr.
mentions
Jones on it?
first.
All right, so we have the other two Blink-182 albums I love, which are Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, and then their untitled album. It's untitled, motherfuckers. Also, The Story So Far, their third album, their self-titled album. No, I think Justin may have heard of them, but they're like that new school pop punk. I love them, although their lead singer Parker is kind of an asshole. And then Paramore's Riot, because Paramore is real good.
Yes, they are.
That's it.
So, all right, Big G, honorables.
Well, you guys know how I round up my top 10, right?
You do what now?
So round it out. What are you waiting for?
All right, so The Cure's Disintegration from 1989. Love The Cure. Madman Across the Water by Elton John would be my top 10. I already mentioned Taylor Swift's 1989 album. And I can't believe Julio said this, but my number 9 would be August and Everything After. So we're eye to eye there, Julio. Amazing album by the Counting Crows. And then my number 10 would be Korn's self-titled album from 94.
So the Velvet Drizzle donated $10 and says Paul wins for the Foo Fighters. Nobody mentioned any Metallica. I love Metallica, but I don't necessarily rate them as high as a lot of other people, so I wouldn't put any of their albums. I mean, they have a lot of good albums, like really good albums that I really enjoy, but I don't rate them the way a lot of other people do. But Paul, your honorables.
Yeah. Well, all right. I'll do it then. The Black album from Metallica. I know people think that they sold out at that point, but Unforgiven, Enter Sandman, even Of Wolf and Man.
If I were going to pick one,
that
would be it, I think.
Okay.
For
I know the
honorables,
old school Metallica fans don't really love that one. That's the point they turned and became too mainstream. But for me, that's the way I got on the Metallica train. Love the shit out of that. Soundgarden's been thrown around a lot in the chat, and Soundgarden was one of my favorite bands ever. And so I go back to Super Unknown. Super Unknown is just incredible. Fell on Black Days, Spoon Man, and then Head Down might be my favorite Soundgarden track ever. It's holy shit, that song just does it for me and just reminds me of my youth. It's the perfect encapsulation thereof. And yeah, Stone Temple Pilots. I go the Purple album. Love the shit out of that one. And I feel like I'm missing one other because I didn't write my next 5 down. Sorry. There's no off the top of my head that I should have got, but Nick, go to you, and if it comes to mind, I'll mention it.
All right. Well, I got to throw love. I did want to put it on the list. Ooh, Gerald, $20. Thank you, buddy. To finish out Paul's segment, love him. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Gerald. Love you right back, man. Thanks for joining us.
But I didn't want to put it on the top 5 list specifically. It is a live album, but it's it's compilation-y, but it's also a live album. But it's Paul Muse's HAARP live at Wembley. That fucking album,
it's cool.
dude.
Yeah.
That album is so fucking good, and that's like when you talk about Knights of Sidonia, like I already love that song, but the live version of it on that album is holy shit good. I'm going to throw some love in here, and I told you my music love is all over the reservation genre wise. The Marshall Mathers LP, baby, fucking Eminem. God damn, are you fucking kidding me? Dude, old school Eminem was the man. Oh, God in heaven. How about I don't know if anybody will even know what the fuck this is, but how about some Discovering the Waterfront, Silverstein? Dan?
Yes, Silverstein. Yes.
Yes, Dan knows Silverstein. And I'm going to throw some, get some emo love in here as well, because I got to get some emo love in here. Tales Told by Dead Friends, Mayday Parade. Fucking love it.
God.
Yeah, you're welcome, baby.
All over?
Yeah, you fucking welcome, baby.
Had a dream last night.
So, yeah, that's Paul, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, Paul from the Countdown, my brother. You're going to be back
Thank you, brother.
on
Thank you.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be
You're gonna
back
be
to help round it out.
So that's going to be absolutely amazing. We can't wait to be joined by you once again. But let our audience know, if anybody's watching that doesn't know who Paul is. Hang on a minute. Drew Hallam, ladies and gentlemen, $10. Some love for all the tunes. Thank you so much, Drew Hallam. We're at
Thank you, Drew.
56.5% of our way to
Pretty
the goal.
damn good. And we got a whole rest of today, all of tomorrow, and then Sunday, right? So because you did a kind of launch thing Wednesday, so it kind of threw me a little bit. I'm like, oh, we're halfway through day 3.
Oh,
but
yeah.
no,
Yeah.
we're actually into
We are
day 2,
cracking
yeah?
right into the beginning of day 2. But I thank you so much for
Yeah,
setting aside
smash it.
a good portion of your evening to be here.
Pleasure.
I absolutely love
Like I said-
you. You're amazing. You're just, and if you guys haven't listened yet, we just did. He sat down with me and we recorded a nice retrospective of Braveheart on his 25th anniversary.
Good fun.
And it was a really, really, really great discussion. So, Paul, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for
Love you,
not
sir.
only being a fan of the show, not only being here on the event, but also just for being an amazing dude, because you're amazing and we love you.
Thank you, man.
Wayne, we
Well,
all have to take Wayne in small doses, but
No, look, if I can wrap it up by just saying it's an amazing thing that you do here, Nick, and to have 2 other people. Well, I know one Dan's an old friend, but to have Gerald, a friend that you've made through podcasting, and Dan to fly up here to help you out is just, it speaks volumes of the heart and soul that you put into this. To have Justin and Lois Sauce in the wings, and they'll be coming in and out through the channel as well. Love all of you dudes. All of you are doing an amazing thing here. I know you're going to crack the 10,000 thing really easily, and I look forward to being back when the pressure's off and the 10K has been cracked, and we can just talk the best 90s action films on Sunday and have a great time then as well. And if we haven't cracked it, we damn well will on Sunday.
absolutely.
Thank you so much. Love you all. Have a great time, everyone. And I probably have to go to bed because I have to work tomorrow. But otherwise, I'll try and tune in when I can through the weekend. All
Get
the best.
your ass to
See
bed,
yous.
my friend. See you. Thank you so much for being here.